Joining us now, Rodney Hall, chair of the Mississippi GOP Outreach Committee. Rodney, thanks for joining Middays.
Gerald, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You bet. So you're newly appointed into this position. I got a message from Chairman Frank Bordeaux to tell us about this. Is this a new committee?
It is. The Mississippi GOP, there's been a long-standing effort in regards to outreach. But really what this is organizing and codifying it, bringing us all together and working and rowing in one direction. Okay.
So when we use the term outreach, specifically what are we talking about here, Roddy? My understanding is we're just really trying to expand the tent, the GOP tent, get more people involved and more people interested in and working with and alongside the party.
No, you're absolutely right, Gerard. Listen, there is, and I know you've had the ability to talk to countless Mississippians across this state. I have as well. And I think that we can all see that ultimately at the end of the day, I mean, we're one big community. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that we agree upon. There's a lot that combines us and that unites us as opposed to separates and divides us. So this outreach is really looking towards not necessarily expanding the tent, but really bringing in the folks that already have the same values, have the same opinions, and bringing them onto the team so we can continue to address the issues of all Mississippians, despite creed or nationality.
Yeah. You know, one thing that's developed, Rodney, is just this, I think this rather pretentious assumption on the part of Democrats that if you're a minority, you've just naturally got to be aligned with and supportive of the Democrat Party. But when I talk to people, many minorities don't. They don't share their values. They don't share their worldview, but they are sometimes hesitant to kind of pledge their support for Republicans for fear of repercussions and retribution from the Democrats. What do you think about that?
You know, that is so funny, and you're exactly correct. I mean, the Democrats have neglected minority and women voters
for
time and time again. They just automatically expect that they're just going to fall in and vote with their platform. But I can tell you, no one is for tripling taxes. No one's for increased gas prices. No one's for a destroyed economy, and everybody wants safety. And I can tell you, and I'm sure you already know this, most Mississippians feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the Democratic Party has neglected black and brown voters, women voters across this nation, specifically in Mississippi, and we're not going to do that. We're going to open the door, have that line of communications, and say, hey, guys, there's a lot that we agree upon. There's a lot that we're aligned with. Let's sit down and have those conversations so we can work together for a better Mississippi.
Absolutely. The thing that's always kind of disturbed me here, Rodney, is that the very people who were harmed the most by the policies from the Democrats, they're the ones who are expected to not only support Democrats, but the Democrats maintain to them that they're their advocates, that they're their champions, but it's their policies hurt them the most.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all saw Joe Biden say, if you're not voting for me, you're not black. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Is that really someone that you want in your camp? Listen, we all are for a safer community. We all want to make sure that our children are being well-trained and well-taught in their schools and that they ultimately have a better life than what we have today. So we're all on the same page. And there does not need to be, just one minor thought that, hey, you cannot come to us. Hey, listen, I wish you were there yesterday. The crowd was absolutely amazing. It was phenomenal. The amount of support, and that's across the state. I mean, we had minorities there. We had women there. We had state elected officials there. I mean, there was just a outpour of support of people saying, yes, this is what we need. This is what we need to come together and show not only is there a need for the outreach, but really the outreach has already been happening.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you see these sort of formations of such organizations such as the Outreach Committee in other states in the country as well? Are you starting to see a move towards that? Is this developing?
Yeah. No, the Republican Party both within the state and at the national level, they're really taking some leadership and some initiative to see that we're reaching voters where they are. There's states like Georgia and Texas that have been doing an outstanding job. We really look to, take the lessons learned from them and then bolster that and continue on that efforts here in Mississippi.
Yeah, so I assume then you guys are working together, kind of have a similar game plan, a template, a model for this work? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've been in contact with the National Party. They have thrown support behind us. I think you'll see a little bit more impact in their presence within the state as we continue to move forward, but we're definitely working together on this.
That's excellent. So, brand new deal. Tell us what your workload looks like. What's your plan at this point?
Well, the first thing is, like I said, the crowd there, the support that's already out there is amazing. And truly, there are a ton of local heroes all across the state of Mississippi. So the first goal is to get all those heroes together. Let's sit down, get our thoughts, put our ideas together, and then go back out into the community and start having those conversations. Like you alluded to earlier, it's been this whole idea that if you even think about voting for the Republican Party, or if you think that you support the Republican Party, like there's this backlash that's to be expected among your community. But that's just not the case. And so the first thing we have to do is bring those communities together and say, hey, look, not only is this about to happen, this has been happening. It's been happening for years. We just don't see it because all that they project in the media, specifically the national media, when it comes to Mississippi, is that there's just one monolithic group and there's just nothing but division and divisiveness. But that's just not the case.
It just feels like, to me, Rodney, that the Democrats are pretty good spouting the rhetoric that gets the vote of the minority voters and community. But once they're in office, it's like, well, I don't need you anymore. And we really don't get policies that move the needle.
No, you're absolutely right. All they talk is hate, divisiveness. And then once they get what they need, they're on to the next. They don't even consider the values and that constituency is something that they need to support. But we're not going to be that way.
Yeah.
This represents a long-standing commitment that will continue in perpetuity until all minorities within the state feel that that they have a voice, that they're being heard, and that their issues for them and their families are being addressed.
Yeah, and I think it's so important that the Republican Party makes that clear. The Democrats have, I think, effectively painted the party as just inherently racist, which is not the case. In fact, I'd argue it's the opposite. It's the Democrats that are frankly racist because they just presume and expect that you're going to support them and vote for them. And if you don't, you're ostracized, you're demonized. Well, we don't do that, and we don't need to ever do that in the Republican Party. We want everybody that aligns with our values. We don't care about all these physical characteristics.
Listen, this is about governance. This is about values. This is about family and neighborhoods. This is not about hate, although the Democrats just love to go strictly to that direction. They love to try to divide us, but that's just perilous, and that's not what we need right now.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to be a microcosm for the entire nation, to show them that we have not only the ability to, but we're really more harmonious than most of the country. We really work together than most of the country.
I completely agree with you, Rodney. I've made that analysis many times on the show, and it's rooted in this logic that here in Mississippi, we have the closest balance of race. The gap between the races is lower than any other state in the country. We had to figure out how to get along. Otherwise, I'm not sure we'd even be a state today.
No, absolutely correct.
I mean, but we're the one that's always pointed to as being the most racist. I see more racial harmony in this state than the other 49.
It's extremely easy for the Democrats to go and just kind of continue to poke at the past. And look, we're not here to run away from the past. We're not here to say that, there won't be some challenges. But
sure,
we're showing openness and the commitment to sitting down and having those conversations and figuring out how we can work together. I mean, ultimately, it really boils down to values.
No doubt.
What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your community? What do you want for your children? and what do you want your state to look like? And if you want to have a piece in that,
Totally agree.
we want to be where you are to have that discussion.
Totally agree. Rodney, I think it's a great move here on the part of the party. I'm pleased to have you on the program. I look forward to talking to you and working with you some more. Take care, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thank you much. Y'all be blessed.
You got it. Middays is coming right back. Stay with us.